How you going? I'm Abdul, head coach of Light HQ Nutrition, and today I want to quickly talk to you about the biggest lesson that I've learnt over the last couple of years by training hundreds of people through nutrition. And that's basically, it's awesome and it's really important to try and understand and try to optimize for your clients calories, macros, meal timing, all that type of stuff. That's really, really important, but it's not the end of the story. Basically, what I mean by this is that if you get a client like I have at the moment, like Brian, who's hell-bent on putting as much, actually no, we just finished the bulk, so he's trying to cut body fat. But yeah, if he's hell-bent on getting an awesome result, we're going to want to optimize the calories, the macros, the meal timing, all that type of thing. So that approach works really well. But what happens when you get a client like another one that I have, like Mel, who's just started training, who wants to have toast and avocado for breakfast with a large coffee with one spoonful of sugar? What are you going to do then? And this is what I want to do. I want to challenge your thinking so you can understand that yes, it's super important to optimize the meal structure as much as possible, but we also want to be understanding who the client is in front of us and how do we deal with them and how do we help them achieve the goal that they have in the easiest way possible. So basically, what I want to challenge your approach is by, instead of just thinking let's optimize, like, because that's what everyone tries to do, you want to be thinking it's a balance between optimizing for the result and the performance, and also in terms of making it as easy as possible for your client. And it's always a blend between the two. For some clients, you're going to want to optimize it a lot more because they've got like a lot bigger goals and they've done this before and they know what to expect and they love that. But for others who are just starting out, for example, you want to be doing the bare minimum in terms of getting the protein, the calories right, and the rest of it doing your best to try and make it as easy as possible. So for both sides, we're providing as much value as possible, but in different ways. So that's our job as a coach, and that's where we provide the biggest value. For the one that's got like hell bent on getting that goal, we're providing value by understanding the nutrition and how to optimize it to get the best and most effective way to reach their goal. On the other side, we're trying to make it as easy as possible by understanding nutrition and what we can change and where we can budge and where we've got flexibility and what we can do to make it as easy as possible but still get the result. So just to give you a bit of a background on myself, so I used to come from a bodybuilding background, and that's why I learned how to optimize things really well. So when I started training, everybody copped the optimized meal plan approach, and it worked really well for a lot of my clients. But it didn't work well for the ones that are new to meal plans or didn't really want to change things too much, and that got me started to think about how should I do it. That's how I came to this process. So originally, I used to do basically, I had two steps. What's the client's goal and how to optimize it. But now, and what I encourage you to do is do the new approach that I've been using for the last couple of years. It's been basically, I'd say 80% success rate. And that's 3 steps. First step is, what is the client's calorie requirement for the goal they have? There's no negotiation here. It doesn't matter if they're new or an advanced athlete or a bodybuilder or a triathlete. It doesn't matter. If the calories are not met, the goal will not be effectively reached. End of story. So we need to understand that, and that needs to be something we're really clear with, and that's always the first step. There's no negotiation, and if it seems like a make or break, then good, you're listening. That's absolutely true. Okay, so now that you've got the client's calorie and you know what the number is that we're trying to hit, then the very next thing that we need to do is understand the client that's in front of you. So, like I was saying before, there's an example of Brian, who was the bodybuilder, and there's an example of Mel. Now, if I treated them the same, I wouldn't have got a really good result for either of them, because I wouldn't have adapted my approach to give them the most value and to make the nutrition plan suit them as much as possible to be as effective as possible. But by understanding what Brian's goals were, what he's done before, what he's willing to do, and what he expects, I was able to tailor the approach and maximally use my knowledge to help him out. And the same thing with Mel, who's new to the gym and new to the nutrition approach and meal plan environment and all that type of thing. If I tried to give her, if I tried to say to her, no, you can't have avocado on toast, you need to have a lean protein source with vegetables like I do for Brian, then I can guarantee you she might have tried it for a couple of weeks, which is not even a certainty, because she might have told me to pretty much beat it, but she would have fallen off the bandwagon, guaranteed, because she's not used to it and she doesn't see the use for it, and she just it just would have been too hard for her. So yes, we can ease her into something later on, but at the beginning, we basically we're going to be asking for her, what can we do that's going to be the least disruptions to her life. So you can see there's a really big difference between the two, and for all of us, we're going to have pretty much the majority of our clients are going to be somewhere in between that. And we're going to have to adjust our approach with what we do for macros, with what we do for calories and meal timing and all that type of thing. So by having a really good understanding of nutrition and who the client is in front of you, you can bring the two together to get an awesome result for all your clients. And that brings me to step number 3, which is after you understand your client and you've got to know what the calorie is, then you've got to pick the approach which is going to suit them the most. So for Brian, like I said, I optimized pretty much everything bottom up. Anything you think of, I've done for Brian. So carb cycling, I've got like different timing protocols for him because his gut plays up a little bit. But for Mel, there's only 2 things that I do. Number 1, I've taught her how to log her food and how to approach a meal plan. So she's 59 kilos, so for her, we're trying to go for 1450 calories. And after that, all I've told her to do is slowly bring the protein up, and it's not even very high for her. It's only 80 to 100 grams because it's still within the optimal range. It's just the low end, which is really easy for her to do, and we're just focusing on the calories. So I'm not worried about meal timing with her. I'm not worried about supplementation. I've made it super easy, and she's losing half a kilo a week. So this just goes to show that it's still getting the result that she wants by making it as easy as possible. Brian is also getting an awesome result, and he's getting exactly what he wants as well. So like I said, I can't drill it enough into drill is the wrong word. I can't stress enough. We need to understand the client, and then we choose the approach. And it's always a blend between the two. So for Brian, yes, I definitely optimize it for him, but I do as much as possible by making it as easy as possible and suit his preferences as much as possible too. So for him, I make his meal structure suited around his work. That just makes it easier for him. So just things like that. We just got to understand it's always a blend between the two, and from there that leads to our approach. Now, I hope that bit of a ramble has given you heaps of value and pretty much challenged how you think about it and helped you understand what you need to do for your clients from now on. Okay, so the next step, tap the messenger button down below. I want to send you you'd call it a mini textbook, which talks about everything that I've just said, but also shows you in prioritization how to look at training, how to look at calories, how to help your client be more consistent, meal timing, flexible dieting, supplementation, and a couple of other things. It's about 20 pages, so it's jam-packed full of information. And I also want you to tell me one thing that you really want to learn about nutrition that I can help you with. And let's start chatting and let me see if I can give you a bit of value with that. Okay, cool. So tap the messenger button down below and I'll speak to you soon.